Hello and good morning, everybody. It's very nice to see you here on the Impact Money Show. We have an exciting show today. There's a lot going on. It's January 8th, 2025, and we're right in the heart of the inaugural month. We've got the Crypto Leadership Conference coming up on the 18th and the 19th, where we'll explore the cutting edge of digital finance. And for those looking to celebrate in style, don't miss out on the Bitcoin inaugural ball on the 19th, where we'll blend the world of cryptocurrency with some inaugural extravagance. Really is something else. This inauguration of President Trump is a historic moment. I've talked about it a number of times on the show. The first inauguration that I went to with President Trump was really something else. And this one is just going to be absolutely amazing. Super historic. You really can't get more historic than this. There has not been another president who was elected, lost, and then was elected again since Grover Cleveland. Trump is only the second president to do that. Let's start with the weather, because in D.C. has been transformed into a winter postcard with 6 to 10 inches of snow blanketing the city. Schools, government offices are closed, and roads are a mess. Keep warm, keep safe, and remember, more snow might be on the way this weekend. Now, of course, some of these offices and schools and everything are open this morning. I think in Virginia and Maryland, there's more closures than D.C. D.C. is a bit of a walkable city, and I guess they figured, hey, public transportation is going, and people can walk to everything, and so school is open, and a lot of different other things are open as well. North Carolina isn't faring much better, with a winter storm warning in place, preparing for snow and ice that could make for a challenging weekend. Now, in North Carolina, they are not as prepared as we are here in the district. And I have to say, we're really not that prepared either. We don't get that much snow. The last time we had a snow like this, it had to be, they said 16 years. It hasn't been 16 years. It's been more like 7 or 8 years. We had a good snow 7 or 8 years ago. Another good snow around 10 years ago. And anyway, every 5, 6, 7 years or so, we get a big winter storm. Let's pivot to the international stage, where President-elect Donald Trump has set tongues wagging with his remarks about potentially using military force to acquire control over both the Panama Canal and Greenland. This provocative statement follows his earlier comments about annexing Canada as the 51st state, showcasing what seems to be an expansionist approach to U.S. foreign policy. Greenland, with its strategic Arctic location, is not just about ice. It's a treasure trove of national resources like rare earth minerals and a key military asset due to the U.S. base at Pituffik. Donald Trump Jr.'s visit to Greenland amplifies this speculation about these intentions. However, both Greenland and the Panama Canal have made it clear that they are not on the market for acquisition or military takeover. This is really classic Trump negotiation style. They asked him yesterday multiple times, would you take military force off the table? Of course he wouldn't. This is classic Trump negotiating style. We'll see how it all comes out. One thing is for sure, this is going to be interesting. Speaking of Canada, Elon Musk has not shied away from commenting on its politics, especially since Justin Trudeau's resignation. His tweet to Trudeau, "Girl, you're not the governor of Canada anymore, so it doesn't matter what you say," was both a jab and a highlight of his engagement with Canadian affairs. This isn't just about politics for Musk. Neuralink's clinical trials in Canada show his business interests are deeply entwined with the public commentary. It is probably worth me pulling this up here. Oh, let me put these prices right here. I got my prices right here for everybody. Our crypto prices. Live crypto prices. We've had a significant move, but I'll get to that in a second. Boom, there we go. crypto. There's some crypto prizes for everybody. Good morning, Johnny Noteworthy. Go Trump. Go Trump. Go. That's right. We're getting there, brother. We're getting there. Back on U.S. soil, California is battling the Palisades fires, which has already scorched over 1,260 acres, leading to mass evacuations and Governor Gavin Newsom's declaring a state of emergency. Financially, we're seeing some turbulence. Eurozone inflation has ticked up to 2.4%, impacting U.S. stock markets, which might be recalibrating expectations about the Federal Reserve's moves, the banking cartel. U.S. companies are defaulting on junk loans at the fastest pace in years, and credit card defaults are at the highest since 2010, signaling real economic pressure for consumers and businesses alike. In the corporate sphere, Cintas is eyeing a significant expansion with its proposed $5.3 billion acquisition of UniFirst, which could shake up the uniform services sector. But in a twist, major U.S. banks have pulled out of the Net Zero Banking Alliance, raising eyebrows about the commitment to green finance. Yeah, they don't really care about that stuff. They don't care about that stuff. Come on, it's all about the money, folks. It's all about the money. You know that. On the regulatory front, Michael Barr's departure from the banking cartel, Federal Reserve, may usher in a new era for cryptocurrencies, potentially loosening regulatory chokehold. This news comes at a time when Bitcoin has plummeted to around 95,800 at this moment, from a high of 102,850, $102,850 this week. That was on Monday, with altcoins also suffering substantial drops and liquidations, painting a volatile picture for digital assets. In the entertainment world, K-pop star Nayeon from Twice's is capturing the hearts with her solo photo book, Yes, I Am Nayeon, marking a significant moment in her career and the broader K-pop landscape. K-pop is so funny, isn't it? Oil markets are showing signs of tightening with a slight price increase, but whether this trend will hold is uncertain, and the U.S. dollar index is seeing a minor recovery following recent dips, driven by economic data and the banking cartel Fed policy signals, as well as we always talk about war and geopolitical factors. Finally, the Dow closed down yesterday. Futures are up slightly at the moment, suggesting the market might be looking for a rebound or at least a stabilization point amidst the global economic dance. Stay tuned to the Impact Money Show as we dissect these events, providing you with insights needed to navigate these complex financial times. We'll be back at this, and we are at this all the time. I have the great Matt Dixon with me here. Sir Matt, we're going to talk about our market report. How are you, Matt?
Hey, good morning. Fine, thank you, Bruce. Yeah, I've been
nice
been very busy looking at the markets. I think we called it pretty well yesterday.
Yes.
We said that, well, if you think about it, even slightly longer term, we said that there's likely to be this Christmas period, this festive period. We'd had a down move before the festive period. Throughout the festive period, Christmas time and so on, the markets moved up.
Yep.
If you remember, I said that when there's very thin liquidity, what you very often see, and I've seen this trading for 40 years, I've seen it over and over again, the markets tend to move in the opposite direction during thin liquidity times, because it's a way for the market makers to take out stop losses, to take out people's positioning, and then move the market in the prevailing direction, which before the holidays was down. We got the movement up throughout the holidays, and now we've commenced back on the movement down. And it fits in with everything that we looked at. So I will just jump in. Actually, I was looking at the possible reasons for the downturn. They're always looking for excuses why, but I will just share my screen whilst I'm, I'll share my screen right now. There we go. We should be able to see. So at the moment, we can see my X feed.
Yes.
The usual chart I got up there. I did talk yesterday or the day before or recently anyway about there's going to be a lot of turmoil potentially before the 20th. I still think we're going to see new all-time highs for cryptocurrency, but before that happens, I think we're going to see turmoil. What could cause it? All sorts of potential issues. I did mention Israel yesterday and the day before, talking about this laser defense system that they're going to be deploying reasonably soon. And there's only a limited window of time for the Iranian proxies to potentially attack Israel before they implement this system, which brings the cost of protection for Israel down dramatically. So at the moment, as I said, it's about $33,000 per missile that they bring down that's fired into Israel. With this laser defense system, that will come down from 33,000 to around $13. So almost for free to provide unlimited protection. So I think there's a limited window. Now, there's actually the IDF in the last 12 hours went on high alert, a high preparedness for a potential Iranian attack. There's a supposedly surprise attack, but obviously they're waiting for
Well,
it.
I think they went out on their Twitter or something and said, "Yeah, you guys, you know how they are, Iran. This is gonna, be the greatest or the most spectacular attack you've ever seen in your whole life, or something." They always say that. It doesn't always happen, but they
hasn't always happened, but I suspect we may see something more. Maybe that's one reason for the markets. There's other reasons, economic reasons. Obviously, even everything that Trump has been saying is not particularly calming for the markets.
I mean, it's pretty funny. I don't know how the rest of the world looks at it. It's a little bit entertaining for us, but at the same time, you kind of step back. You're like, this is really interesting. I mean, the first time in my life that we've ever been like, where did it take Greenland? Oh yeah, Canada too, and then the Panama Canal, and now we might take it by force. I mean, this is remarkable. This is remarkable talk coming from the president-elect.
The way you phrased it as his style of negotiation, maybe that's correct, because as I say, everything he said coming into the election, I don't think he'll be able to follow through on an awful lot of it. So there will actually be some disappointment anyway. But initially, I do think we're going to get that peace process we talked about. I think there'll be some turmoil before it. But when he comes into power, I think there will be big peace initiatives. And I think that's going to be a big bonus for the markets yet again. And I think we'll see another Trump pump, I believe. But before that happens, I think we're in for some trouble. Just looking at the markets, we looked at this many times before, so I won't look at this much. But basically, it's the Conference Board of US Leading Economic Indicators Index, and it shows that every time there's a big downturn, there's recession, every time since the 1960s. So we've seen that before, so I won't harp on it too much. But just to say, we've had a big turn down now, so we maybe expect recession coming very soon. Here's basically inflation in the US. You just mentioned that the Europeans have got elevated inflation, 2.4%. Which is above targets. They may have to raise rates or keep rates higher for longer. That's not going to be good for the economies. People want lower rates because they want the cost of borrowing cheaper, more money flowing around in the economy, etc. US is in a worse situation regarding inflation. We have 2.7% at the moment. These are the up-to-date figures. The next figure due out is January 15th, the next inflation figure. So we'll, await that with anticipation, just see what that comes out as. But as we can see, a target rate of 2%, they're well above their target rate. So inflation's a big problem. When you've got elevated inflation, it means you can't really lower rates, even if you want to. And we've got employment figures due out. I mean, we've got non-farm payrolls coming out on Friday, haven't we? And employment figures. So if we start to see further deterioration of the unemployment situation, then that would mean they want lower rates, but inflation means they can't give us lower rates. So they've got a real conundrum. And these are the sort of times when you potentially might get risks of recession. So next chart, actually is another, quite an interesting chart here. Cost of borrowing, actually. So this is bond prices. Relatively long term here, but bond prices. So when bond prices sell off, go down like this, it means that yields have gone up. So the cost of borrowing is increasing. That means basically the risk is increasing. So lenders need to be compensated more for lending money because there's an increased risk of lending out that money, of getting it back, basically. So they increase the interest rate to compensate. Again, that's not good. Higher interest rates are not good for the economy. They will slow the economy, and that is a potential risk for recession. So I'll just jump into the final chart I got on my X feed here, which we've seen something like it before, but this is the inverted yield curve. Now, every single time, the past 7 recessions, have been signaled with an inverted yield curve. Now, you may have noticed, you can see here, every time the yield curve's inverted, this is the 10 minus the 1 year bond yield. Every time it's inverted going below this red line, we get recession following every single time it's happened. And we've had a very, very deeply inverted yield curve. We've not had recession yet, but bear in mind, recession doesn't hit until after the inversion is eliminated. So we can see every single time after the inversion basically goes into the inversion is removed, that's when you get recession. So you can see every single time you get the inversion is removed, then you get recession. So this time we've had the inversion's being removed. So if it goes with like it's done every other time historically, then we would expect recession very, very soon. So there's big
Bitcoin just dropped. Just to let you know, Bitcoin just dropped below 95.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's just jump over to Bitcoin.
I didn't mean to. I just got the notification. Look at that.
No, it's interesting because we said, again, the long term, but we also gave short term warning signs about it. We looked at yesterday the dollar index. Now, dollar index longer term tends to correlate with Bitcoin, but short term, when you see a sharp rise in the dollar, it basically means people are piling out of risk assets into the safety of dollar, treasuries and deposits. So out of risk assets into dollar safety. That's why you see the dollar jump. And look at this jump in the dollar we've seen since yesterday.
I mean,
very, very strong jump in the US dollar.
Those are the green shoots right there, as you call them.
Yeah. So that's a warning sign in itself. Let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin. I think you said it dipped below 95. It's just fractionally above it right now. But again, it fits with our wave count. We had it labeled before it happened as an ending diagonal. Then we had A wave down, B wave up. We're expecting C wave down to take us ultimately below this, below the bottom of this wave here. So probably below 90,000, I would suspect. But let's just jump over to an even better one, I think, because it's got that amazing structure, wave structure that we labeled as a triangle. So we had a W wave down. We've got an X wave up, which is made up of A, then a B wave triangle. The B wave triangle is made up itself of A, B, C.
And this is Solana we're looking at now.
This is Solana. So we expected, and we actually labeled this before it happened, before the triangle broke, we said after the triangle, you have a terminal thrust from the triangle, which is exactly what happened, this terminal thrust to the upside. So from the wave E, we knew it was going to push higher, which is exactly what happened. But we knew it was a terminal thrust because triangles are pre-terminal. The thrust is the terminal wave of this X wave here. And then we get the next wave down. So WX, and we get Y wave down. The Y wave will be made up of 3 waves, A, B, C to the downside. We haven't even finished the A wave yet, so we've still got B sideways and then C down to finish it. So we've got to go quite a bit lower. And, I think we've got to break this W wave. I think we have to, which is 175. So I think we're going down lower than that. And we can already see, Solana 194, that's the lowest I've seen.
I was talking to one of the guys I trade with, loosely trade with. Did you say your target yesterday was 175? Was that on your recorded thing?
No, that's the previous low was 175. I expect it to go below 175.
Okay. Do you have a target on this one that you're willing to share?
Well, I can just have a quick look at it. I'll just very quickly look at a rough target.
You called the 216 top within a couple of bucks, so I thought that was pretty good. Maybe I'll set up a long a little bit around there.
That was so. Just looking very briefly, I just put my Fibonacci measuring tool on there. It's there or thereabouts. If we go to 100%, and it doesn't have to go to 100%. We can stop at 0.618. We can stop at 0.786. It doesn't even have to stop at one of these levels, but 100% would be a reasonable chance. So $132 there potentially on the downside. That's not fixed, but that would be a reasonable target. So once we get below this $175, I would then protect my short position because you should have entered a short up here with the X wave. I
Yep.
would then protect my short position just a little bit higher, and then ride it down with a trailing stop, because there's no telling really where it'll turn, but I would suspect we'll go below 175 for certain. And then just look at Ethereum being interesting. This, again, we said yesterday, if it dips below, it's way up here, 3,005 or something, you can expect it to go lower. That's precisely what happened. And you can actually see very, very clearly, if I open this out, you can see very, very clearly the impulsive direction from up here is downwards. We had a corrective movement to the upside. You can see it's all overlapping, corrective movement. So that means that the impulsive direction is still down. That's this thick arrow here and the thick arrow here. So once the correction, ABC correction, was complete, we expected downside. Precisely what's happening. The downside shouldn't be over yet. We may see some small sideways corrections or whatever, but the downside should not be over, because this looks like a larger A, B, and C wave down. The C wave down should take us below the previous low of 3,094. So we should get down below 3,000 on Ethereum. But I think that these are probably buying opportunities. Again, let's just look at XRP. Again, we said with XRP, if we dip below this level, we said that we gave the level yesterday of 237, I think it was. 237 here. Said if we dip below here, it shows that this move up is corrective and not impulsive. We dip below it, that 237 level. We're now 230, so we're $7 below. So big confirmation of our trade. So we actually dipped below it here yesterday.
$7.70. $7. Yeah, I don't think it was $7 below. On XRP?
On XRP, sorry, you're right. 7 cents. Yeah, 7 cents. So yeah, because we're talking dollars. Yeah, I was still on dollars with Solana.
Yeah.
Now we're
I was
on
like, whoa, XRP, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, 7 cents, which is a big move in a short period of time. And again, we saw it dip below yesterday. That was confirmation that it's going to go further down. So then when it moved up in corrective mode yesterday, that was time to sell around here. And just going to, I'm flipping around a lot today because there's so much been going on, but SPX, I'm not confirmed yet for guaranteed that it's a triangle, but it's looking like it may be a triangle that we've got. So from the top, we've had an A wave down. That's this red A wave. And I noticed that the move up was in the form of ABC. That told me there's definitely more downside to come, but the movement to the downside is also looks corrective in the form of ABC. And the movement up is also looks corrective in the form of ABC. So I'm beginning to get an idea, a thought, that this may be a B wave triangle to the side. So it would be made up of A, B, C, D, E. That's a possibility, not a certainty. It could just be a corrective B wave, and anyway, it's corrective, looking like corrective to the side. So we're going to get some more downward movement on the S&P 500. So plenty of potential downside to come on the S&P. But again, I think this is just corrective probably. So we would expect new all-time highs to come after the correction's complete. So this is most probably a wave 4 correction on most of the assets we've looked at on relatively large scale. So if it's wave 4 correction, we still have a wave 5 to go to the upside to complete all of these upside moves. So again, as I'm always giving the analogy, jigsaw pieces, the whole picture, they're all fitting together, and it also fits together with what I've been saying we're expecting out of the gates new year, expecting downside on the markets. That is being fulfilled. I'm expecting potential volatility, possibly all the way to the 20th. So we're getting close to the 20th already with the Trump inauguration. But I think sometime after that, I think we're going to see some euphoria kick in with peace process, etc., and a really good rally. And the rally will probably take us, I believe, to the latter part of this first quarter, Q1 2025. But that should end a larger wave 5 to the upside, which should take us, as I say, to these all-time highs for Bitcoin, S&P, etc., probably even Solana, maybe even XRP. but we're going to get an amazing rally, I think. But at the end of the first quarter, I think we're going to see turmoil hit again. We're going to have economic troubles. We're going to have geopolitical woes. And I think that's when we see a major correction that's been overdue for a long time, to be honest. We've been rising really ever since the financial crash of 2008. And we've been rising on borrowed money. As you know, they've been printing money like crazy. This does not produce real productivity. It just pumps asset prices. And when recession hits, which again is the other big factor, when recession hits, they're going to be lowering rates aggressively, but they're also going to be printing money again in a desperate attempt to reflate the economy and to keep asset prices to get them back. But I think this time round, we've done it twice, 2008, and it worked. Did it during the COVID crisis, and it worked. It pumped assets again. I don't think third time round, I don't think it's going to work. Or if it works, it won't have a problem.
Not going to work as much or as long. I think if it does work, it's going to be quick. And then
yeah, that's right. I mean, I think it has become a diminishing effect of this money printing, and I think people are beginning to realize it hasn't really improved productivity. I mean, we've had some good things, some good tailwinds in our favor. I mean, AI is increasing productivity in some ways, so that has been a help. I mean, regarding Bitcoin, the fundamentals for Bitcoin have been amazing with the limited supply and the diminishing new supply with the halving event, etc., and the ETF pumping up demand, institutional demand, even governmental demand. So the fundamentals behind Bitcoin are great. And my long-term thesis has been that even when we get this mega market crash, and Bitcoin will crash, by the way, along with all the assets.
Yes.
I actually think Bitcoin will be perhaps the one that rises out of the ashes and becomes, really, really important in the world of finance. And I think that's when, even though it crashes, that would be a time probably to load up with a lot of Bitcoin, because I think with its limited supply, it will answer or resolve a lot of the problems that we've had with fiat, with the unlimited, infinite supply, money printing, etc. So even though it's going to crash like the rest, as I say, I think it's going to rise out the ashes. I actually said this probably 3 years ago on CNBC. I gave my projections on Bitcoin. They've been pretty accurate. And this is my ongoing projection of what's going to happen with Bitcoin. So just to finalize and summarize, I guess there's more we can look at, but I think we've probably done enough for today. That I expect there to be ongoing correction for Bitcoin up until probably around the 20th of this month. Then I think we're going to get sometime 20th or maybe shortly after, maybe when Trump starts to get some of these peace initiatives moving, I think we'll then see a rise to wave 5 all-time highs. But then I think there's going to be some turmoil at the end of Q1. I can talk plenty more about assets if you want, Bruce, but I think that's probably a good wrap for today.
Okay.
I think probably the best chart to finish on is that Ethereum chart. I think it just shows very, very clearly. It was our expectation there's going to be a turn. It has turned really dramatically to the downside, but I think quite clearly there's more downside to come. And that is true pretty much across the board. And you mentioned Bitcoin dipped below 95. It now clearly has dipped well below 95, 94.8 now, dipping sharply lower. So
yeah, it's going for it.
It's going for it, and I think that we're going to see at least a test of 90,000 as a bare minimum. I mean, the low point here was 91,000. So I think we're going to see at least 90,000, but actually I think we're probably going to see somewhere in the 80s to complete this wave 4 correction. So right now, the time to jump in, obviously we had some bearish divergence on some of the assets anyway, maybe not on Bitcoin, but some of the assets we had good bearish divergence. Certainly, I think we had it on S&P. I'm just trying to see if we had. Not really, no, I suppose not. I know there was bearish divergence on some assets anyway. I'd have to search around to find where. That was giving me some really good sell points. But right now, the market's come down so far, I probably wouldn't be jumping onto a sell position or a buy position right now. I'd be waiting for lower prices to come in to then buy at a better price, really. Buy when the market's lower. and then wait for that rise in the fifth wave. So again, we're right on top of it. It's gone pretty well according to expectation. So we'll continue to watch carefully. Let's just see what happens with Israel and Iran, because I think that's going to be potentially the next big market mover, and that could push the markets down quite sharply. But following that, if we get a peace process, then it's looking bright.
Yeah, peace will drive the markets quite a bit, because a lot of people are just scared.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that, Bruce. Thanks. But just finished, sorry, by the way, on gold. I think we've had a move down on gold from all-time highs. We're moving upward in a corrective fashion by the look of it. So I think we still have some more downward movement on gold. But once again, gold, I think, will also revisit and push to new all-time highs again once this correction is complete. But I still think we have a way to go with the downward correction. I think this is a very typical B wave looking move sideways, slightly upwards, sort of consolidation pattern. You'd expect there to be some downside after it. So I think that's also going to be the case with gold. It's going to show some correlation with Bitcoin and so on. So again, let's look forward to coming sessions and see if we can get some nice positions in place. And you can position nicely on 2-bit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm about to play the commercial here as soon as we
Great. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, everybody. Catch up soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt.
Bye for now.
Cheers.
Hey, Randy, I got another home run for us, man. This 2-bit exchange is absolutely amazing.
Hey, Bruce, what's up, man? Yeah, why don't you tell me about that 2-bit exchange?
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to be able to list our coins that we want, that we support, and they're going to be on this amazing derivatives platform. It's absolutely awesome.
Derivatives? I love derivatives. I can't wait to be on the trade copy program.
So what I want you to do is set up an account and then send me your UID, and let's set you up with a trade copy system, and you just let it run. Copy our trades. That's it. Easy peasy.
So you want me to open an account, send you my user ID, and you hook me up with the trade copy system. I can't wait. Sounds spectacular.
Hey, Matt. Hey, listen, I met with the guys at 2-bit Exchange while I was in Dubai, and this platform really looks amazing.
Yeah, hi, Bruce. Yeah, thank you again for that heads up. I mean, I've looked into this 2-bit platform. It does appear to have everything we're looking for.
Yeah, that's right. 2-bit, Toobit. They have great liquidity. They have futures platform. There's a lot of functionality that I think you're going to like on there. And they really want to work with us. They want to work with the Impact Money Show. And as you and I both know, if they have a good product and they want to work with us, well, hey, that's half the battle.
I mean, basically, I love that copy trade facility. I love the features on the platform. It's basically very simple to use.
Our viewers only need to set it up to copy our trades, and they just do all the trades that we do. Makes it really easy for people to participate. I think they're going to love it. I'm pretty excited about it.
And yeah, it's definitely going to benefit people. I mean, obviously with all the years of experience that we can pack into it, and people can basically benefit from that. Yeah, I definitely think it's a goer.
Hey, David. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it too. I mean, when you think of the ways that we can help our viewers earn money and be able to participate in the monetary revolution, this 2-bit platform just opens up all kinds of doors that they don't have right now.
Hey, Bruce, I'm checking out this platform. It's revolutionary.
That's absolutely correct. And the futures platform is amazing. Great liquidity. And the copy trader program, people are going to be able to make the trades exactly when we make them and make the money that we make. It's a win-win for everybody.
Open for U.S. customers, and you can deposit money with a credit or debit card. Doesn't get better than this.
Beautiful. And what do you think we should use as a referral code?
I think we should use Impact Money. That's the one. Impact Money.
Impact Money. Make sure to use the referral code Impact Money on the 2-bit exchange. You can hit that QR code right down over there in the corner of the screen. Hit that QR code. That'll take you right there and take you right into that. Yeah, the markets are popping around here pretty good at the moment. message or a note from Johnny Noteworthy. My gut feeling is recession, 2 quarters of down GDP won't be able to outlast the strength and the economic boom headed this way. Most of the boom coming from investments outside of the USA. Yeah, quite possible. I'll tell you, I don't want to bet. No one should bet against Trump and Elon. That's what the main message I have for everybody. Don't bet against those guys. Okay. Don't bet against the United States as well. You know, I can tell you if these guys are able to do half of what they're talking about. I mean, you know, Elon Musk and Vivek, they're talking about taking $2 trillion or more out of government spending, right? Of wasteful government spending. Guys, if they take $500 billion out, if they take 1/3 of $1 trillion out, you know what I mean? This is big. This is big, big, big. So I think I agree with you. The future is quite bright. We are going to, you know, the previous administration has left us in a mess. It's a mess. We have a mess worldwide. We have a mess economically here at home, and that is going to take some time to fix. It's not just going to be fixed with a magic wand, although it may seem like it. Because I'll tell you what, when you have leadership, that is magical. Leadership is like magical. You know, when people think that, and they believe that things are going to get better, then it's almost like magic. They get better. It's like it's one of those things. Now I wanted to share this because this really is worth sharing. I talked about it earlier in the opening of the show, but this has got to be one of those things that people do when they say, "Oh my God, I'm never deleting this app. I'm never deleting this app." Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate that. We are working on it, brother. So this is the post here. Justin Trudeau. There isn't a snowball's chance in heck that Canada would become part of the United States. I should say it in Justin Trudeau's. There isn't a snowball's chance in. Anyway, workers and communities in both of our countries benefit from being each other's biggest trading and security partners. Elon Musk. Girl, you're not the governor of Canada anymore, so it doesn't matter what you say. I mean, this is like internet gold. Like, you don't get much funnier than that, guys. I mean, that is just like, wow, man. You know, and I know Elon, he made a bunch of people upset out of with this H-1B visa stuff, going to war and calling everybody subtards or whatever. I mean, he's Elon, guys. He's crazy. He's crazy. That's what my wife said. It was a pretty funny conversation. My wife just was laughing. Of course, it was over Christmas, so all the family was around. She goes, "Well, you guys, you know he's crazy. You guys all like him when he's on your side, but when he does something you don't want, you're all upset." Yeah, that's true. True, whatever. So, you know, and none of us are perfect, guys. You know, none of us are perfect. I mean, I'm not saying I support his stance on that, but none of us are perfect. We don't like things. There's things about all of us that we don't like. We're not going to like, even to your own wife or husband. There's things about them that you don't like, right? You take them, you accept them, but you go on. And Elon is a pivotal figure. He will be in the history books. Of course, he's going to take us to Mars. He's going to colonize Mars. And he's talking about direct democracy or whatever he's talking about there. It's really going to be something else. It is going to be something else. And his leadership in artificial intelligence and robotics, I mean, it's unbelievable, guys. It's unbelievable. That is a star-studded team. Now, as well, we've got RFK Jr., another star. That actually was my favorite ticket. And nothing against our vice president-elect. I think he's a great man. But Trump, RFK Jr., man, that was my dream ticket. I thought, man, that'll be awesome, man. If he does that, that'll be something else. Of course, he won anyway. And, now we're going to hopefully we'll have RFK Jr. in charge of the health. We'll see. And that, of course, the MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. It will be really something else. I mean, that's the thing. If Trump is able to do half or a quarter of what he's trying to do, it's life-changing. And this whole even just he's really something else. I mean, just even us thinking about expanding the United States into Greenland, taking Canada, you know, and these types of things. I mean, this is like legendary. This is also why I caution everybody as well with the dollar and the crypto stuff, because Trump loves the dollar. He does. He loves the U.S. dollar. So I think one of the things he's thinking about with Canada is you get all those people using U.S. dollars, and the U.S. dollar, the value of the U.S. dollar goes up. Because of course, we have all of these U.S. dollars that we've minted up. The banking cartel that has minted up, and you know, more people we have using them, the better. I mean, already now the Saudis aren't using it as their main trading thing. Trump has people in place now that will carry the MAGA torch, make America great. That's Johnny Noteworthy, my man Johnny Noteworthy on the comments there. I'll tell you what, they are in place. Let's hopefully they stay in place. We need to get those people confirmed. We need to, whether it's recess confirmations or whatever it takes, we need to get them in there, and we need to make it happen. I would love to end the Fed. I would love to end the Fed here. So we'll keep our fingers crossed about that. But, you know, like I said, Trump, he loves the dollar. He's got a lot of dollars. He has a lot of dollars, okay? That's why I'd like to see him own more and more crypto. The more crypto he owns, the better off we are. I mean, you know, that's really the case. So quick check on the markets here. I hear my kids moving around. We have school in the district. We have school in the District of Columbia. So I will be doing that. And the Fed, and the Fed, and the Fed. I mean, that's really that's the long and short of it. Those are the guys. The Fed, the banking cartel, are the ones who control really everything. They control everything. They don't really control Trump that much, but it could change. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. Great show. Love doing it. Having a great time. Cheers to everybody. We'll be back on in a few hours as well, streaming again tomorrow morning. Cheers.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.